Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So Raj, I have a suggestion. Why don't you turn off the speaker completely and let me see if my voice still can be heard. Off completely?
Yeah.
So very nice to see you all. What do you think?
Yes.
No, I'm okay. My voice is a lot better than it used to be, so wonderful. Okay, I think we'll keep it off. And if I need to, then you have it all set up so nicely to do that. I mean, this has been a long gap, and this teaching needs to be in this manner. So we will discuss how best to continue. We'll talk about that. So I think what I'd like to do is spend maybe about an hour to hour and 15 minutes just giving you some of my thoughts. Then we will take a 5 to 10 minute break. And during this time, you can stretch your legs, go to the restroom, etc. Then we'll come back and have a discussion about how to go forward. How often should we meet? Should we meet here or someplace else? So we will have a discussion about that. We will follow that with a question-answer session. And then, hopefully, by the end of the day, we will have a meditation. And I think we need some more chairs, it looks like. So for the first class, I asked for 2.5 hours. So we actually have that classroom until 12:30. So we will decide how much time do we need. But at least we have the time. We don't have to go until 12:30. We can just finish early. But up until that time, we can be here, and then afterwards we can meet if you want to have a lunch together, or you can go home. Okay, so that's kind of like a schedule that I was thinking of. That'll break up because it's a long time for 2 hours. I also probably would need to get up as well, so we will do it that way. My wife Pami and I were just discussing where to go for lunch afterwards, and we had our own ideas and suggestions, but I think we both agreed that perhaps we will go to this place called the State Street Market. I don't know if you've ever been to that or not. It's a teeny bit pricey, so individual items are like $12-15. But I think that it has a big hall and it has lots of tables and we can all mingle together. So it's probably, otherwise all these places you don't have time to sit down, places to sit down. That's the issue. So that's our program for today. Everything okay? Good. Enough chairs. All right. Let us chant Om Namah Shivaya. I'll chant it twice, and you please follow me. And that will bring our minds together at the same place that we all are, Shiva. And as our classes have already been talked about and we'll continue to discuss it, that is our real nature. And anything we can do to bring our minds, our actions, our knowledge, our bhakti to Shiva is going in the right direction. So let us start with just chanting Om Namah Shivaya for a few minutes.
Bluetooth disconnected.
Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. So we're starting these classes after a long gap of 6 years. Yeah, it was right after the COVID when it started in January, February of 2020. It's amazing how quickly time passes. Yeah. So the reason to do that, I think, is the following, and I've felt this for a while. Online classes are good, but I am staring at the camera at an average of the students. Because each one of you are at a different stage in your life. You all have different activities, different knowledge, different bhakti. You're all different, but I don't know you personally as I used to. I don't know how much you have progressed, to what degree you have absorbed, what is more needed. That I don't know. I used to know that to a certain extent, but even that is now gone. And so teaching becomes ineffective because really it has to be done on a person-by-person basis. I have a few of you that are in touch with me regularly. It doesn't have to be, on a daily basis or anything like that. It'd be nice if we could do that, but it's not possible. But you need to have a connection. And it could be any of the persons. You're following lots of different gurus. I see from the satsang WhatsApp group that you like many of the ideas, you have different gurus and so on. What the teaching says is, you can have different gurus. All of our acharyas, Swami Chinmayananji, Swami Dayanandji, Swami TV. You think it's needed?
My voice goes down.
Okay. So they all have different gurus. They all had it. You can have a guru for Shastra. You can have a guru for teaching. You have a guru that inspires you. You can have different gurus, but regardless of that, you need to have a personal connection with them. This is very important because I'll tell you what, this is an important thing that we'll talk about. You need to discover Ishvara. If you have not yet personally discovered Ishvara directly, you have not reached what you want to do. This is a very big thing. I can see the problems that people have where they feel, I'm adequate, I know what I'm doing, I'm studying Vedanta, I have an introduction to the self, and I'm happy, I'm making good progress. All of that is going on. But you know what happens? In and through this process, you maintain your own individual identity. This is me. I'm a student. I'm a good student. I'm a bhakta. You do all of that. But the base of that you have an identity. Believe it or not, that identity is the biggest problem.
The mic is not helping. There's a lot of echo and we can
Okay. I think one thing we could do is, yeah, I'm happy. Let's just make sure that it's done.
Well, the echo will come because his voice can be heard first, and then the second one.
Should we move the
Yeah.
mic a bit away again?
A bit away. Okay, that's a good idea. Let's start doing
Now
that.
it's over.
Yeah, we can keep adjusting it, please.
Very good. Can you hear at all with the speakers or is it on first?
Okay, well, we'll keep talking to see how that goes.
Exactly, we may have to adjust for that.
Not
Yeah.
coming through the speaker.
So therefore, this introduction to Ishvara is only possible through an introductory person in between you and Ishvara. It cannot be done otherwise. If you study on your own, no matter how smart you are, your individual identity is not removed. In fact, it gets strengthened on the other hand. So for that reason, it's important for you to resonate with someone who will also say you are making a mistake, you are being too academic, that feedback has to be done. And I cannot do that until I see you and I meet with you and so on. So for that reason, I think that these in-person classes would be useful to you and to me, and we need to figure out how best to do so. Obviously, it's not possible to do it every week. We'll have a session on how to go forward. But I think that we need to figure out how best to do so. And if not me, you need to find somebody else that you can be very close to. Either way, you need to find a guru. Without that, you're just whistling in the dark, quite frankly. You can come to a certain point, but you cannot reach the end point. So what I'm thinking, given all of these, here's what I would probably do. I will structure these classes not on a text-by-text basis, but on some important concepts that I have been extremely happy to be exposed to in the last 6 years. In fact, I must say this, Ishvara has been very kind to me. In some way, in the COVID times and the fact that we were not together, it strengthened my inquiry primarily with the help of Swami Akhandananda. And another thing is that the Guru doesn't have to be personally present all the time, but you need to have a connection. And I have developed a connection with Swami Akhandananda, which is unbelievable. Do you know every line, every word just resonates with me. And I spent so much time going over and over again. And every time I do that, it takes me back to myself. So I've discovered that. And it's really helped me in my life. And I think you need to do the same thing somehow or the other. And you're probably doing it, but I think this is what you need to accelerate. So given all that, here's what I'm thinking of in structuring these classes. We will continue the online classes. I am committed to finishing Drikdrishya Viveka, which we did. We had a wonderful 17, some of you were there, 17 classes. By the way, if you haven't, I don't know, in fact, let me ask for a your hands, how many people have listened to those 17 classes on the web, on the YouTube up to now? Has anybody listened to them? I would really recommend. You know why? I'll tell you why. Not only are the students benefiting from on in-person classes, the teacher also benefits from in-person classes. You know why? Because I'm looking at you and I have my way of talking changes when I'm looking at people rather than the camera. So my teaching is better. And I think we had a very good 17 session. And I think when you have time, it's up to you, you should really go through that because it's very complementary to what we're doing. Anyway, I haven't really finished this. So what I'm thinking is, in addition to the online classes, we will have these occasionally where I will drill down to the basic concepts that overlay all the texts. And this is with the help of Swami Akhandanandaji. Very helpful to me. And there's not that many, there's probably a dozen concepts that you have to just keep thinking about. And then you will see it all come together. So I think that this would be an overlay on top of your own teaching. And I would suggest that you keep a separate notebook for these classes and you have dialogue with me. Not only would the in-person classes will have question and answer sessions, but even otherwise I find many of you have a email dialogue with me and I think it's very helpful. So that is really the purpose of what I'm trying to do. The title, the subject of these in-person classes is the achievement of unconditional joy / the vision of Ishvara. And because those two are the two sides of the same coin. As we will talk about that in more detail very shortly. Without the vision of Ishvara, we will understand what the vision of Ishvara means as we study. But without that, it is impossible to have unconditional joy in your life. There is a important verse in the Shvetashvatara Upanishad. It is the last verse of the Upanishad. I think the Upanishad has, 150, 120 to 150 mantras. And by the way, the 6th chapter of Shvetashvatara Upanishad has 23 mantras. And those mantras I intend to go through in these classes. I won't do that today. Today will be much more of a general introduction. But eventually, if I have the last mantra, the final mantra, and these mantras are, Upanishad is the voice of Ishvara, as you know, says the following. It says, Yasya deve parabhaktihi, yatha deve tatha gurau, tasya etehi kathita artha, prakashante mahatmana. This is a verse, the final verse, that Swami Ekhanananda has commented a lot on and very clearly on, very useful. What it says is the following. Yasya deve parabhakti yatha deve tatha gurau tasya eta hi kathita arthaha prakashante mahatmana. I won't spend that much time. We will do that when we come to this verse later on. First of all, this word mahatmana is a very interesting one. You know who it refers to? Swami Ekhanananda points this out very clearly. It refers to the student. The whole verse is for the student. It says, you cannot be a Mahatma. And you know what a Mahatma is? What would you define? How would you define a Mahatma? A Mahatma is one who is an independent Atma. Right now we are very dependent Atmas. We are all Atmas, but we are very dependent Atmas. We'll go through that in detail about what that means. We are not independent. Independent means I don't need anything. I'm happy the way I am. I don't need the world. I don't need anything. I am. This is Mahatma. This is Ishvara. So the verse says, Prakashante Mahatmana. Prakashante Mahatma means that these thoughts will not become real to this person. The status of the person will not be that of a Mahatma until the following. So I'm looking at backwards. Until what? Yasya deve parabhakti yatha deve tatha gurau tasya etehi kathita arthaha. Very beautiful. So here I'll say one other thing. Kathita hi artha. You know what kathita artha means? Kathita artha means, we've all heard of katha. Katha means a direct discourse, not from a text. You should hear this directly from a living person. It's called kathita hi artha. He says this. This is not my words. This is Swami Ekhanananda talking. And Swami Ekhanananda talks because he's a Mahatma. He's gone through the whole thing. So this Kathita Artha requires two things. Yasya deve parabhakti yatha deve tatha gurau. Two things. One is Yasya deve parabhakti. Bhakti is the most important thing. You need to have an unstinted idea. I'm not done yet. Until I see the Ishvara in my life, I'm not done yet. Let this be your guiding principle. This is bhakti. We don't know where Ishvara is. You need to know where Ishvara is. And to know where Ishvara is, you need a guru. You cannot tell where the Ishvara is until you have a guru. So this is what it says. Yasya deve parabhakti yatha deve tatha gurau tasya hi eta Kathitarthaha prakashante mahatmana. This is the final verse. So what it means is, and here, parabhaktihi Ishvaraha Paramatma resolves into your own real nature. Your own self. So as we will make it clearer and clearer through our teachings, Ishvara is not somewhere else. It is your own self. But you're not looking at your own self. You're not looking at it. You have ignored it. You've ignored Ishvara. How and why, we will discuss it. But we might as well tell you, this is the situation. So therefore, this should be our guiding principle, which is, and it cannot be done while you are individual. I was looking at the New York Times. And even though New York Times is very, very biased against India, if you have a chance to do that, you know what it said? They kind of like, this is me. I like my own bacon everywhere, but New York accentuates it. So this self-identity of being in your own cocoon is very victory. But he's wearing the same cap that you are wearing. You are a millionaire, and you are shaking hands with them. She says, like, so what? You want to talk to people. It's a very beautiful article. Really nice. At our own ideas of this is me. And you congratulate area, and I'm driving a Tesla. But the sooner you realize that itself is not enough, independent of your homes, independent of your, you need to discover your own independent identity. Otherwise, exactly the same situation. I cannot even suggest, and it goes on and on and on. It will never end. And it doesn't mean that you become isolated from them. In fact, it's just the other way around, just like this New Yorker was saying. But you need to be comfortable with it. It should not be any kind of for botheration. That's the example. I'm taking it completely off of script. I had some other things to do, but I'll you know, this example which we have gone through before is very, very beautiful. So the example was that of a parrot, the parrot example. So the example is that there was a parrot, and it was a talking parrot, not an ordinary parrot, because parrots can be taught to talk, and it becomes a very big asset. So they will say, good morning, hello, they'll do all that. Just like my Mercedes, it says, and my 5-year-old says, I thought your name was Kapoor, why is it? I says, Sanya, what can I do? So this parrot was a talking parrot. And the parrot was very happy. Why was it happy? Because he was well respected. All the visitors will come and the owners will say, hey, say hello to them. So say hello, and they'll give a name, say hello. Parrot thought, wow, I'm a big guy. And he would get progress. He told the parrot, hey, ask him the following question. Yeah, Swami, and said, Swami, the moment the Swami heard this, he So they said, Swamiji, wake up. Swamiji is not responding. Not responding. So they came back after, putting water in them, whatever it is. So we came back, so the parrot said, so how was your visit to the Swami? Did you ask him the question? He says, shut up. Fool, you know what you did to us? As soon as we asked that question, the Swami had a swoon and he fell down. The parrot said, oh my God, this is the answer. This is the answer. So within a few minutes, he just fell down. So the people said, hey, parrot, get up. Parrot said, I am not getting up. So they said, after a while, this guy is gone. So they just took him away and said, just go. He flew away. We all laugh at it. This is our situation. This is our situation. So we ask, are you studying to be a self-knowledgeable person? Are you really working towards it? Not just the study, but are you really doing this? I'm a little busy right now. Well, why are you busy? Oh, I have this babysitting to do. My grandchildren have now come. This is all our situation.
Bluetooth disconnected.
What's happening? What can we do? Yeah, I would say turn it off. I'll speak a little louder. Turn it off. Turn it off, I think. Just completely turn it off. If I have to stand up, I'll stand up to do that.
I was picking up from the tablet.
Ah.
Picking up from the tablet.
So, this is the situation. We're happy in our lives. You don't realize you are in a prison, my dear. You're not free. You're postponing it. Sorry about this. I am just in the mood of telling you these funny stories rather than teaching real, which is coming. Swami Chinmayananda gave this example, which has always stuck in my mind. You must have heard of this anyway. So there was a scholarly person who was a teacher in a college, very well read and so on and so forth, dressed immaculately. So he wanted to go across the river. And so he got a boat, ragged clothes. He didn't have enough money to really eat well. He was disheveled, had not taken a shower. So he looked at him and he says, okay, I'm going to sit in the same boat with him. But he says, that's okay. So he went to cross the river. He was lost. Then he said, okay, do you not know any music? He said, sir, I can hear some filmy songs here and there, but I didn't have time to listen to music and so on and so forth. So 1/4 of my life, 1/4 of your life is gone. Then he says, you must know some grammar, right? He says, sir, what is grammar? I don't understand what you're saying. I don't know any grammar. So he says, 3/4 of your life is gone. Pretty soon there was a hole a crack developed in the boat, and the water started to come in. So the boatman said, sir, I need your help. Here's a bucket, please take this. He says, me? My clothes will get dirty. He says, do it right now. Okay, I cannot do this. Both of us will do it. And so they kept getting the water out and so on, but the boat was taking too much water in. So the boatman says, sir, do you know any swimming? He says, no. Then your whole life is gone. This is our situation, honestly. We need to really get on with things. All right, I've only been joking. I have not taught anything yet. So let us start. I may not get very far, but we'll do. So the first thing that we need to do is to find out what is the goal of my life. What am I here for? And what is the goal of everyone's life? Are the goals that some people want to be famous, some people want to be rich, some people want to be educated, some people want to lead? Are there different goals of people? Or is there a common goal? This is a question that we have to ask. And one thing to think about is what will really deliver the goods in your life is vichara, is thinking. Without, you can be temporarily happy, but the happiness will not inhere until you understand what is happening. So the first thing to do is to reflect upon, do vichara on what is the real goal of my life. And what is the goal of everybody? What is the goal of my respected people? Where are they going? Often said in our Shastras, I don't have the verse in front of me, that Paramatma, Shiva, is even prayed to by devas, by all the gods, everyone, all the intelligent people. This is what their goal is. Why? So it is said that in Akbar's time, he used to have, tell me what your problems are. How can I help you? This is called Diwane-Am. So ask him for some money. So he says, okay, I don't want to go, but okay, fine, I'll go. So we went to the Darbar. Sit down. He was not coming, 45 minutes have passed by. So he says, where is he? He said, sir, he's in a prayer room praying to God, to Allah. He says, oh. So he gathered up his things and left. Just as he was leaving, Akbar walked in and he said, why are you leaving? He said, sir, if you are also praying to Allah, I'm thinking, why should I pray to you? I should also pray to Allah. I made a mistake. So even the best people, what do they want in their lives? This is what you have to see. The answer is very simple, and you know it. You know it, you just do not realize it. Ananda, joy. Ananda is the goal of life, not success. Why do we want success? Because of Ananda. Why do you need to have a family? Not because you want to have a family, but because it gives you Ananda. Why do you need to eat ice cream? It is not to eat ice cream, but to have Ananda. Ananda is what our nature is. And a very interesting thing. Ananda means happiness, peace, feeling of fulfillment. You can define it anyway. This feeling of happiness doesn't have to be taught. This is the only thing that doesn't have to be taught. Everything else is given to you. Ananda is not given to you. It is your own nature. This is a very important thing. We will look into this. You as the Atma, which is the nature of Ananda, is not given to you. Everything else is given to you. Your father was given to you. Your mother was given to you. The milk was given to you. The food is given to you. Your body is given to you. Your mind is given to you. Your friends are given to you. Everything is provided for you, except for one thing. To you, who are you? You are Ananda to begin with, now and will be forever, but you don't know it. This is the issue. You made a mistake. I am not Ananda. This is the situation. And so the basic question that we need to ask is, what is my nature? What do I really want from my life? So this part of the vichara should be done the following way. Where do I find it? We can ask the nature, we can ask the question, do I want Ananda in the morning or in the evening? Which means, am I dependent on the time? No. This is a ridiculous question. I want to be independent of time. Do I want to be happy inside the house or outside the house? When I'm here in the US, in California, or when I'm on vacation to India? Where do I want Anand? Is the Ananda different when I'm in the US or when I'm visiting home in India? You have to ask your question. The Ananda also, there's one very beautiful, interesting thing. The Ananda must be known to me. It cannot be unknown to me. Anything which is unknown to me is not very useful to me. Like, for example, suppose someone has deposited $1,000 into your account. I'm just giving a small amount. Just a small amount. Could be even much more than that. But you don't know it. Will you be happy about it? You don't know about it. In fact, it's a very interesting thing. Ishvara has given you a complete experience of Ananda every day, but you don't know about it. You know what that is? Sushupti, in deep sleep. This is the issue. Your life, not while you were asleep. What Vedanta will show you is Ananda where you are aware of it as unlimited yourself. This is the beauty of it. Another thing. Do you want your Ananda to be coming and going? No. Do you find anyone in the whole world who has complete Ananda without any conditions? Doesn't seem like it. We don't know for sure, but other than some Mahatmas here and there, we cannot find anybody. But can you give up? Aren't you just happy being limited? No, I'm not happy. But I don't know what else to do. Can you imagine Ishvara to be unhappy? No. I can't even imagine. I can't even define Ishvara. Because Ishvara means a complete person that is the very essence of Ananda. Perfection. You are all seeking Ishvara without realizing it. If you ask somebody, hey, are you a seeker of God? It will be very fashionable to say, I'm not sure. And inside you will say, I don't know, really you are not sure. But you will say, yeah, I'm open to thinking about it. But you won't admit, oh yeah, I'm a big bhakta of Ishvara. They'll say, what is this guy? You need to be going to Hawaii and do some nice things, and he's sitting there doing bhakti to Ishvara. Nobody would admit I am a bhakta of Ishvara. But do you know, every second of your life you are seeking Ishvara. Every second. That is your own nature. You don't know it. You won't admit it. But that's what it is. The perfection that you are seeking, the Ananda that now here, we can do one thing. we want, all of us want to be Sat Swarupa. We want to know that we are. Like, for example, supposing you'll say, you know what, like the Egyptian mummy. Egyptian mummy means, you know what Egyptian mummy is? That means just like the person was, exactly like the person is. So they have come up with all kind of these potions and lotions and so on. They wrap the body, and so the body does not disintegrate beyond a certain point. And so, you know, this is exactly what we all want. We want to live forever, and we know we're not going to live forever. So you know what we do? We get our photographs taken. That is the best thing, nothing more. So the Egyptian mummy is also a three-dimensional picture. So supposing you tell somebody, okay, we will, and the Egyptian mummy was only done to the richest people. Only a few people out of the millions in Egypt used to be interned like this. So if we can say in a coma, will you like it? I want to be, and I want to know about it, and I want Ananda. So now listen carefully. Do you need Vedanta to tell you this? Let me ask a question. You don't. You know that you are. If Vedanta comes in and says, do you know, I'll tell you something very amazing. You are. You'll say, what? Why do I need Vedanta for this? You won't. If Vedanta says, do you know that do you know? He says, yes, I know. Have you had the experience of Ananda? Yes. So you are Sat, you are Chit, you are Ananda. So you can say, I don't need any Vedanta for this. What's the problem? I know I'm already Satchidananda. This is that's what you're telling me, aren't you? Do you know why you need Vedanta? This is a very important, this is what is to be understood. You think, yes, that I am Satchidananda, but I am conditional Satchidananda, not unconditional. The Sat and the Chit may not be violated, but the Ananda is violated whole day together. You are happy in the morning, by the afternoon you are in a sad mood. And you know, the interesting thing is, the world doesn't really necessarily pull you down. It's your own thoughts, your own mind. This is a very important thing that we will see. What the Acharyas say is, ultimately you are your own worst enemy. The world doesn't bother you as much as you bother yourself. And you have reasons to be bothersome. It's not as though you are being unreasonable. You have a reason to be bothered. But most of the time we are bothered by ourselves, by our own estimation, our own conclusion. The world doesn't think that badly of you as you think yourself. You don't believe in yourself. This is the situation. So therefore, we'll go back to it. The reason you need Vedanta is you want your reality to be unconditional, not dependent on anything. And at the moment you wake up from the sleep, you enter into a state of dependency. Despite the fact that you are in a state, you are, but in a state. You are same as you before, but you are in a state. You are different from it. It should be very obvious, but we don't understand it. Swami Akhandananda gives a very beautiful example. I tell you this, I discovered only recently in the last 6 months or so. It's I saw that, it was just beautiful. He says, there's a story of a man who came back from buying some vegetables, and he had the vegetables in a bag. So while he was walking, he met a friend. So the friend says, "Oh, where are you coming back from?" He says, "Oh, I just bought some vegetables." "You have them in the bag?" He says, "Yes." So this man said, "In fact, I'll tell you what. If you can guess what is in my bag," listen to this carefully. "If you can guess what is in my bag, I will give half of my potatoes to you." And if you can guess how many potatoes I have, I will give all 10 of them to you. Swamiji says this is a puzzle. What kind of a puzzle is this? So the Shastra says, my dear man, my dear woman, your waking state, you are there. In your dream state, you are there. In your sleep state, you are there. You are there in all three, you are. Do you get it? It's like the person who this person is saying, if you guess how many potatoes I have, I'll give you all 10. And the person is thinking, let's see. You miss the whole message. You miss the whole message. It's a very obvious message, but I don't know what I'm thinking of. I am there as a Turiya, as the Ananda Swarupa. But I don't understand it. It is right there in front of you. I will end with another story and then we will take a break. I think I'm done with all my stories. I don't think I have any more. It's like those jokes, everybody wants to. So we only have a few of them, that's it. So very similar to that is the story that Swami Dayanandji had. It was one of his stories. He was very fond of this. So the story is about Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. You must have heard of this before. So Sherlock Holmes was, of course, a very wise solver of murders. So whenever when there were some very difficult murders to solve, they will give to Sherlock Holmes. And Sherlock Holmes had an assistant that he was teaching, Dr. Watson, a younger person. And so the two of them were most recognized sleuths in London. They're always in the city. So one time they said, you know what? We want to see the stars. And we can't see the stars in the lights of London. So let's do this. We'll go outside somewhere and pitch a tent and go to sleep, and we will see the stars. And we'll be. So Dr. Watson was not a big country person. He says, okay, fine, whatever you want to say. So they went there, they lit up a fire, they lay down, put a tent up, and they went to sleep. In the middle of the night, Sherlock Holmes wakes up, and he sees stars on the top. So he starts talking about his astronomical knowledge. Sherlock Holmes says, my dear, such a foolish person, our tent has been stolen. So this is the situation. Swami Akhandananda says, intelligence doesn't help you. As I've been saying in my classes, every day I meet such intelligent, rich, well-to-do, successful people. But have they started to look into who they are and what's happening? They miss the whole show. This is what we need to do. And we look at it very methodically and successfully. This is what we need to do. But I would end with this, and then I think 11:22. So yeah, I think that with this we will end, and then we will take a break, and then when we come back, we will just talk about some other things, but no more teaching. So I'll end with this. In all of the texts that I studied from Swami Akhandanandaji, there's one thing which is very consistent in what because he normally talks to some very advanced people, because of course he talks to everyone, but the questions that come to him are from people who have been studying Vedanta for a long time and say, Swamiji, I still don't get it. So he collects questions from all of them. And the one consistent set of questions that people ask him is, why don't I see this? You're saying this is very obvious, but why is it that I don't see it? And he has a very consistent answer. He says, do you know something? You are doing vichara on the wrong things. You are not doing vichara on yourself. and there is a lot of stuff that you need to do, Vichara, on yourself. You need to do that. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. This is his answer. And if we start doing that, at least we are on the path to doing it. This is his answer. Anyway, so I didn't cover 20% of what I wanted to say, but that's okay. This is part of the nature of it. What I think we'll do is, when we come back, let's take 11:24 on my watch. How about taking a 10-minute break? So 11:34, we'll be back, and then we will. I'll tell you what I want to do.
Go, please, I want to.
So we have this room until 12:30. The first time that we will have. So we have it until 12:30. So I think that what we might do is two things. One is let us go over what you think about the setup and the format of these classes. So let's discuss that. If you had any questions from either today's class or any others, we can do that. And then we will do a meditation. And so probably until it's 11:40, if we end by, say, 12:20, 12:25, that will give us enough time to reset the room a little bit, leave it tidy for people as we keep on. So that's the plan.
Can you put a group picture later? Just
A group picture, wonderful. That we can have some time for that, it'll be great. So let me start by asking you a couple of questions. Number one, is this venue okay with you? In fact, let me ask it the other way around. Is it too far for some of you to come to?
I would prefer Milpitas to be more central for people in North and
Okay.
I have a suggestion. We always go to Milpitas. I see some new faces here that don't go to Milpitas because this is more convenient. Maybe we can consider spreading the joy and alternate or oscillate between Milpitas and here.
So
Some here and
I
some
think
Milpitas.
looking at all of this, I have a suggestion. I think this is a good place as something we can continue. If you find a better place, let me know.
yeah.
It's up to you. Because I must say, I have a lot of kudos for Ronnie and to Virag. Because both of them, when we were in Saylorsburg, came up to me and said, we must have personal classes. That gave me the impetus, okay? And then have it be ready so that, look at all aspects of it, parking, ambience, and all that. I'm okay, I can come there. Okay, so this is how we will do it. Until then, this is a good place to come to. Also, it is,
Can I say something?
yeah, sure.
Even if we find another place in Milpitas or somewhere, please keep in mind it can be oscillated. That way, I mean, since we're not contracting for a long period
Okay.
of time and we're doing a class at
I
a
think
time,
this format allows us to go, because we're not going to do that on every Saturday or anything like that.
Yeah.
Whenever we meet, we can find the right place. That's acceptable to me. So that brings me to the next question. How often?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have an idea. Okay. I'll give you 3 options. And I'm going to count the number of hands that go into all 3 options. In fact, Chandra, if you could please count the hands. We're not going to meet. It also depends on my availability and your availability. We're not going to meet every week. So, one option is between 2 and 3 weeks. Second option is between 3 and 4 weeks. So the 2 to 3 weeks means possibly sometimes 2 weeks, possibly 3 weeks. The second option is sometimes 3 weeks or sometimes 4 weeks. And the third option is whenever we get time to, we can do that. Okay? All right, so close your eyes, think about that, what you think, and we're going to now start counting and we'll see. Are you ready? First option.
21.
And I think with that will be the winner, so we don't have to go to the third option.
Whenever doesn't.
Actually, what will happen is Sorry, Kalpana, what you're saying?
Once a month, fixed Saturday, so that they
Once a
can
month.
complete instead of whenever.
So that would probably be a good option, once a month.
Can I suggest something?
Saturday, first Saturday
What
Chawla?
I'm suggesting is if we keep it like a month, Saturday or second Saturday or whatever that is in the morning, so that way we have the schedule.
I think that makes sense.
we plan.
Okay, so let's do it. So,
But that also depends upon your situation.
Correct.
so realistically, I think what will happen is,
Only for ourselves.
realistically, what will happen is that we will go with this once a month on thing, except on,
Sometimes,
it
yeah,
doesn't
second
mean,
or
it doesn't
third,
have to
that's
be.
fine, yeah.
We can always change it to so on.
Because also when visiting Swamijis come,
When the Swamijis
but
come,
that-
then
I mean, we are always
hold on,
changing.
hold on, that we are doing the retreats and we are meeting with them and we're going offline and that's also on the weekends. So we'll have to consider that we don't do it that month, we do it the following month or
what we could do
something.
is make it to 3 weeks sometimes. Normally keep it to 4 weeks, but if there's going to be some other things going on, we could meet at 3 weeks. I have a feeling if we don't meet less frequently than that, it'd be difficult to maintain a certain continuity of thought. So realistically, 4 weeks to 3 weeks. Okay, that makes sense.
Decide second or third.
Should we continue with this format where we took a break and we probably will not have this kind of a session again where we are discussing the form, and so on, but there should be question answers. This means about 2 to 2.5 hours. You think that's too long, or should we shorten it? So,
2 hours. No more than 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah.
Is it 2 hours including the meditation? Because
Yeah.
Yes.
Today not, but generally what I'm saying is.
I was thinking 2 hours of teaching and
2 hour teaching without interruption is difficult.
2 hours looks too short.
Yeah.
1 hour is spent coming, half an hour, quarter hour, then half an hour is spent coming and going. And attending just for 2 hours and then 15, 20 minutes meditation. So should be 2.5 hours. My suggestion.
Yeah, my suggestion is 2 hours, if you then include that full half days, Saturday is gone. So we come 2 hours, we do 1 hour of teaching, maybe 15-20 minutes of question and answer, and then 20 minutes of half an hour of meditation. That's my suggestion. Let's see.
You can schedule for 2.5 hours. If you're done in 2 hours, it's fine, right? So that we have the schedule, we have the room for 2.5. So we can go early if that's what. Very few questions. It can be done.
I was suggesting that after 1 hour we walk all together with some chanting and come back for the class. I mean, it's Los Altos, right?
Yeah, that's something.
Then we'll be walking.
I was just suggesting that if we keep it exactly
break, because 2 hours is still manageable without a break.
Exactly.
Focus,
No
very
break.
focused sessions, and your 1 hour of teaching, maybe half an hour of question answers, and then we close with a meditation, and that way it becomes a shorter.
Another suggestion is if you'd like, and some people would like 2.5 hours, maybe the Q&A can be done after meditation. So those who want to leave after half an hour of Q&A can, and the others can continue with still more Q&A. So that's another format possibility. So you do the teaching, the meditation, and then do the Q&A.
My suggestion is do meditation first, teaching for hour and a half, whatever. And then question and answer. People want to stick around a little bit longer, that's fine. People don't have any questions, want to go, that's fine. So let's keep it that way without break and have a steady subject going on every month. We continue that way.
Meditation first works too.
Yeah. First thing in the morning, we do that, you know.
Okay.
So it depends on what time we start. 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock?
10 o'clock.
is 10 o'clock.
Even 10 o'clock. Whether time is not that bad because people are close. Yeah.
Well, the reason I thought of 10 o'clock was because we can end, and if people want to have lunch, then you could do that. But we can change it to earlier at 9 o'clock if you want.
10 is good. Lunch is a good option. If we knew ahead of time, I didn't plan for it, so we'll not be able to join. But if we knew ahead of time, then we can just get planned.
So that changes things. How many people for 10 and how many people for 9? 10 o'clock?
The 10th happened.
10 is good.
Yeah, 10
10 is good.
Yeah.
Gives you some time in the morning, not have to rush.
You can also vote for the 2.5 hours.
Sorry?
12.
2 hours is option 1 and 2.5 hours is option 2. Option 1.
Okay.
2.5.
2 hours.
2 hour wins. And I think Chola, your suggestion is, sorry. Break after an hour.
5 minutes.
Oh, 1.5 hours, we always had a class. And every session.
People can take a bio break.
I think that if you break, it's difficult to get people back. So my feeling is, and my sense is always like this, you please go and come anywhere me at all. This is what I've learned from Swami Dayanandji. It is so you need to be oblivious to whatever it is going on, and I'm very conditioned to do so. So I think that we will, so 2 hour wins, and I like Chola's suggestion that we'll start with meditation and then continue on with teaching. What we could do, I think you had the suggestion that we could contract for 2.5 hours so that we are not in a rush. If we want to continue on for a while, we could do that. The cost of this place is very reasonable. I have to tell you a couple of things. We're paying $57 an hour for this, which is pretty reasonable. In addition to that, they have an application for what is called a contractors or something like that, which I have already given. And if we are successful, it is free of cost.
That wins.
That wins.
So I haven't heard back from them. So they have to look at the subject matter, all kinds of things. And so I have applied for that. Let us see if that happens, which will make this into a good location. And so any alternative, money is not that important. But
This place is better. I take my word back from it.
you see, I think that if it is once a month,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
then you
it's
can
not so
travel for 45 minutes to do so.
It's convenient for Guruji. It's very close to.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
but
matter.
we-
It
For
doesn't
your,
matter.
for your convenience also.
Actually, this place is much more, we have to be concerned. All the time we are thinking about our learning, this and that. We have to also think about Guruji too.
Yes,
This
exactly.
is
No,
very
no, don't worry about
convenient.
it. If it is once a month, I don't mind. That's not the issue at all. But
It was easy for Miji to come to today because it's close by. Otherwise, she says it's half a day's come.
I'm sorry, there was another question? Yeah.
Yeah,
go-
as far as which Saturday, I was thinking second or third Saturday may be better because normally the long weekends come at the first weekend, first
Or
Saturday
last.
or the last Saturday of the month.
So the third
Like
Saturday,
the 4th of July is coming
Third
or,
Saturday.
you know, whatever.
So when is the
Thanksgiving,
next?
things like that.
Labor Day, Memorial Day is on the end,
Or,
so
yeah. So either second
Third
or
week
third
is
Saturday
better.
will be-
Second or third.
so what is the third week of July? Um,
21st, 22nd.
no, 18th, 19th. 18th, 19th.
Yeah, 18. Yeah.
Because in August is, and then September is 19.
Swami Sakshat.
September is 19.
Swami Sakshat 29th and 30th of August.
Right.
Yeah,
they
so it will not
celebrate.
I
affect.
said 15.
No, no,
she is
the
class.
third Saturday. No, no,
she is
the
class.
third Saturday.
Third
16
Saturday.
August.
I think probably the best way to do that is to keep it a default time
Yeah.
and be
And we can change the week.
all right. Anything else regarding
And
this?
so are you going to take a text that we
Well,
found?
Chola, I think that's exactly what
That makes
we will
sense.
do. What I'd like to do, in fact, immediately now, I was hoping to start on that today, but I think we'll do that next week. I'm going to take one verse. I already had, I was thinking about this. This is the first verse of the Karika after the seventh mantra of Mandukya. Antapragyam na Bahishpragyam. So what has happened is that Sri Gaudapadacharya ji, who, as you know, is perhaps the most respected guru in Advaita Vedanta, even more than Swami by Adi Shankara, because he was the Parama Guru of Adi Shankara. And he's written only one Karika, that's it. So the Karika is full of very concentrated, which needs to be explained by people. So he has written this one verse, number 10, for which we took 4 classes, what is it, about 2 months ago or something like that. In fact, that's what, let me ask, since we are doing all these surveys, are there some people here who have not been following the Mandukya classes? Several people. What I would recommend is this. All right. The 7th mantra of the Mandukya, believe it or not, we took 48 classes on it. over 15 months, starting from October, I just looked it up, I just wanted to say that. Starting with October 20 to October year 24 through January of 26. 48 classes on 1 month for a reason. Then we took 4 classes on this Karika number 10. What I would recommend to you is that if you simply rely on once a month, it's not going to be really enough. You need to supplement with some your own study if you want to get the most out of it. I mean, if you want to just come and have a nice time and discuss it, I'm okay with that as well. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying that supplementing these on-site, in-person classes, if you can go back and do a minimum of the following. Look at 4 discourses on number 10, which was done about 2 months ago. If you really are ambitious, go through the 48. What I plan to do is answering your question about what, so on and so forth. I'm going to concentrate on one shloka at a time. And the first shloka I will concentrate on is the number 10 of the Karika. Nivrittehe sarva dukkhanam ishanav prabhuravyayah advaitav sarva bhavanam devas turyo vibhus smritaha. Realistically, I would take about 10 classes on this. But realistically, we don't have the time to do that. It'll take us about another 10 months. I will try to do this supplemented with your own learning. So please do that. After this is over, I will go to the 6th chapter of Shvetashvatara Upanishad, which has 23 verses, and I've already chanted the last one. Yasya deve parabhakti yatha deve tatha gurau, that one. So it is set for like 25 different classes, which is like 2 months. So this is what I'm going to do. 2 years. 2 years. In addition to that, I would recommend that you listen to the 17 classes that we took on Drik-Drishya Viveka in Sailorsburg. Because it's all consistent. It's all the same thing in different examples and so on and so forth, if you want to. And what I am committed to do is to complete Drik-Drishya Viveka with some podcasts, which will be starting probably another 2 weeks, I would realistically say. And that will be twice a month, shorter ones, about 45 minutes, twice a week, hopefully twice a week. I don't know if I'll get the time to do it. Twice a week, 45 minutes on completing Drik-Drishya Viveka. But that's doing a lot. That's up to you if you want to do it. But if you want to follow this train, it will be Mandukya, the 7th mantra, the Karika number 10, which is on the 7th mantra, and these classes.
Are you going to continue this Saturday on classes?
Okay, that's a good point. So what I want to do is to continue with the Saturday classes until the end of the Karika. And I think I'll speed it up a little bit. I would say 5 or 6 more. So we'll have 5 or 6 more Saturday morning scheduled classes, and then we will end it. It will be just that. All right, it's already 12:06. Oh my gosh. So let's do a short meditation.
A group picture after this.
Oh my God. So this will be a very, very short meditation, not too long. ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्भूतं यथा निद्रया यत्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। The best way to see the presence of Paramatma, Ishvara, is to examine your own nature. The creation of the entire cosmos, the Jagat is exactly like a present day movie. Ishvara is the creator and the seer of this movie. You are the creator and the seer of this movie. Ishvara's creation and seeing the movie is through you. The main parts of a movie are three. You need a basis on which the action of the movie is projected on. The basis is not affected by the contents of the movie. The screen shows the fire of the movie, but is not burnt by it. This is one element of the movie. The second is the steady light of the projector. Unchanging, powerful, self-illuminating, and the third element of the movie is the film. That modifies the light of the projector according to the script of the movie. Meditate on yourself being the whole movie. You are the basis on which all the experiences are dancing on. You are the steady light of consciousness unchanging, powerful, that is experiencing directly through your light. And you are the creator of the script from millions of previous episodes, modifying the script, making a story out of it. Friends, family, sukha dukkha. Meditate on all three. All experiences emanate from you. They dissolve back into you. Even the example of the dissolution is given to you every night. It is not make-believe, it is a reality. You are the basis of all experiences. You are the light, the steady consciousness, unchanging, that is illuminating all of your experiences. And you created your own script. And this was all designed by Ishvara. What more of a presence of Ishvara do we want to see? We are the living presence of Ishvara. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. That should be one small request. I think I know almost all of you, but there are a few people that I don't recognize. So if you could kindly just say hello to me in case you don't think, and I may not know you all. Next time I think we'll have an attendance sheet. Let's have a picture taken. And then after the picture, as we said earlier, this is one suggestion. If you want to still have some lunch somewhere, You can have it anywhere. We've got lots of restaurants here. We have Boulangerie. We have Mendocino Farms is close by. Italy Express is there. You can go there. There's a very nice Mexican place, Lulu's. There's not much sitting there. We really like that. But if you want to go to the State Street Market, here's what my suggestion would be. You go on State Street, so you'll have to turn right on San Antonio and then left on the light. And one of the lights there is the State Street. It has 2 or 3 different streets. So one of them is State Street. And this market is between the 3rd Avenue and the 4th Avenue.
You can park in the behind. You can park behind, walk that way.
You can just close, you can see that. You can even, or you can follow it or something. It's a big hall and they have lots of, they have an Indian restaurant, they've got, you know, all kinds of Chinese and so on. You can all meet there. So that would be a good